Hi everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Scott's Soldiers. Today I want to do something I've dreaded doing. It's going to be messy, likely not pretty, take maybe a week or longer to accomplish. And no, I'm not cleaning up the garage or building a shed in the backyard. I'm going to paint something, but just not anything. I'm going to try my hand at a casting of a steadfast World War I French Renault FT-17 tank. I purchased this from RP World Models several years ago, and I've been looking at YouTube videos of the tank, trying to get an idea on color schemes and the history of it, and also looking at some restorations. This video will be time-lapsed, if that's the right word, meaning it will be filmed in stages, and to hold your fascination, I'll speed up the process so you won't have to watch hours of video, literally watching paint dry. Anyway, I hope you enjoy my inability to paint in a straight line. If you like this video, please hit the like or subscribe buttons at the end. Here's a photo of a Renault at the Musée de l'Armée in Paris this spring. It's only when you are close to it does its simple design and small size, in comparison to today's tanks, become apparent. There are other surviving examples in museums, and checking online will help locate one nearest to you. For those out there who are the real artists in this hobby, I'll apologize up front for my technique, choice of tools, or anything else that causes you to wince. Even as I did this project, I realized things I did wrong, or should I say, could have done a better way. So step one, I'm following various sources on the internet which all agree wash the castings in dishwashing soap and water, rinse off the soapy water, and allow the casting to dry completely. This process removes any of the oils or fluids used in the casting process and provides you with a cleaner surface for the primer to adhere to. So what I'm using is just a commercial brand dishwashing soap and a toothbrush to get into any nooks or crannies of the casting. As you can see, I'm an expert with a toothbrush, many years of experience, so there shouldn't be any criticism or comments from the cheap seats about my technique. The steadfast casting is free of flash or excess bits of metal. Step 2. So the castings are dry and they're ready to be primed. I'm just looking them over for a second time to see if there's any flashing or excess white metal on the pieces and anything else that catches my eye before I start priming. The primer I'm using is a Tamiya white spray for metals, but primers come in several different colors. I'm using white because it was all I could find at a hobby shop. I've already shaken the primer so it should cover evenly, and I'm doing this outside, and so should you. You don't want the fumes or overspray inside your house, and you definitely want to account for ventilation regardless of what paint you are using, be it enamel, latex, or some other type, particularly if you're sensitive to fumes or have breathing issues. There, these are almost done, and now I can let them sit and dry. Step 3. I choose enamel on this project because I want the glossy toy soldier effect. I found these colors at a hobby shop. When I was looking around for types of colors and things like that, I noticed that this store had a wider selection of latex colors, and I may want to try latex next time. I'm going to start with taking a Sharpie marker and laying out the camo pattern. I'm trying to not have straight lines and enough of a pattern that I can use the 3 colors. And the first color I'm putting down is a gloss brown, and while it looks dark brown, I'm fine with that, as I'm trying to have it blend into a wooded area as opposed to open country. This will be followed by a gloss green and finally a gloss wood, which is more like a sandy brown. I'm trying to let each coat have a half day or more to dry properly. As I've said before, I'm not an artist, so this will be a bit sloppy and shoddy. I'm really not worried about how neat it is as I lay down the colors because it is camo. Finally, I'll give the tank a name. I noticed that to some degree, these and other vehicles were personalized to represent the crew or unit that it belonged to. At the end, I'll explain why I painted the tank with the name I chose. Step 5. So this is how it turned out. Not too bad. I realize there are probably some better ways to have done this. If my technique was rough, that's probably because it's been years since I painted anything smaller than a wall. But I believe the result is as important as the process. Now I placed beside it a couple of Fusilier Miniatures World War I Canadian soldiers of the 1st Division. The red formation badge on the shoulders gives it away. I hope you felt inspired to do some painting of your own. It wasn't all that hard, and I think if you pace yourself and clean up your brushes and work area, the results can be satisfactory. So why did I choose the name Lily? Well, one reason is that it can be a French or English surname. Second, a friend's granddaughter was in the hospital for part of this summer, and her name is Lily. Well, she may be too young to know why I named this tank after her. It's a recognition that she too is a fighter, and I believe she is going to get better and have the great life she deserves. Well, that's it. Unless I get a lot of comments telling me to stick to painting rocks, barns, or fences, I may try some more castings over the year. Until next time, keep painting and keep collecting.